So, this has been on my mind for a while now. I've been wanting to do a video about this for a long time. So, just take a seat with me. Let's just sit for a moment and let's have that awkward conversation about AI. Okay, look, I'm not going to start defending AI. I think that it has a lot of downsides when it comes to filmmaking, because this is what the video is about, AI and filmmaking. And I think there's a lot of downsides that there is to for AI filmmaking. But I want to just point out some things of what people who are talking about like how evil AI is in movies, what they're kind of forgetting about. I've been talking about for a while that I think AI filmmaking is best when AI is just a tool. It's nothing more than just using any other tool in Photoshop. That's what I feel AI is. You use AI to make jobs easier. I don't think AI should ever replace a job. I think that AI should never be like you hire an AI robot to do something. No, I believe that AI is best when it's just a tool that other people use. Like, I really hate when I just hear people talking about like anything with AI is evil and that it's just going to be the worst thing to ever happen and that movies are going to be dying because of AI. I don't believe any of that. What I do believe in is that AI has the risk of ruining movies, but I have a feeling that with all this pushback that AI has had, that I really believe AI is going to become a tool, and that's what's going to happen with movies. Okay, let me give you an example. So, Airhead, this little short film, I'll play some footage over while I'm talking about it. It was a short film made completely with AI, and the reception it got. I mean, there's some people on Twitter for some reason praising it, which I mean, it's Twitter. What do you expect? But overall, a lot of people were just talking about like how terrible it is, because you should never make something completely AI generated, because then where's the art in it? There's no art in filmmaking anymore. That's the whole thing about filmmaking, is that it's a collaboration between hundreds of people to make this one little film. And whenever you just make it all completely about AI, then all of a sudden there's no art in it. There's no dedication and work that people put in. They put in prompts and a keyboard, and they wrote some prompts. They had a computer do all the work, and that's it. There's no art in any of it. It was just people typing out what they wanted to see, and then they got it. And so whenever people talk about like, okay, there was a article, Ashton Kutcher was talking, he was just talking like an absolute idiot, where he was saying how like in the future people can just type in prompts and make their very own movie. Like they can just wait a few minutes and a computer will create a full 90-minute movie for you. And that just makes me question why. What's the point of watching a movie if all it took was just a couple of prompts and it made the whole thing? Like, there's no work that went into it. There's nothing that I can appreciate about it. Because what I really love in movies is if I can see a whole, like, little details that you can tell filmmakers specifically looked at to get into the movie and make sure that maybe on a rewatch that you'll notice it. And so whenever you just see AI generated art, not even art, just AI generated nonsense, it just doesn't have the same appeal. I also remember back when Late Night with the Devil, when that movie came out, that people were freaking out over a couple of still images of AI generated art. And I feel like something like that was not really, like, I don't know the full story about like if they just put in the prompt and created it, but I really feel like it just goes back to, you can't just make something fully out of AI. If you want people to respect what you make, at least integrate it with actual people working on it. Because it's just, yeah, I look at AI art and like it's cool, but like nobody spent hours of their life dedicating to drawing it. Like I really feel like AI art, it only goes as far as like a funny image of like a celebrity doing something stupid. That's what I feel AI art is. That's what it really, that's the whole thing when it boils down to it. It's just, it's a it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing for people to do, to make, and to laugh at. Like, it's not meant to be serious. And I feel like with the trajectory that things are going, I'm worried that people are just going to start pushing the boundaries of AI. That's just the thing about people. We love to push the boundaries on what we create. And that's a good thing. It's very much a good thing. It leads to better ideas, new inventions, stuff like that. But for AI, it makes me worried. It makes me really worried because how far are people going to push AI? I'm really scared. When's the next, like, when are there's going to be a full AI movie created? And what is that going to look like? What's going to happen next after that? Like, it's these kind of questions that make me worried about what the future of AI is going to end up looking like. Because I don't want to live in a world where there's a film festival of AI generated movies. Because again, goes back to my previous argument. What's the point? There's no work that went into it. You didn't even create the movie. A computer created it. How can you even say that you created an AI movie when really it was like Soar AI? They're the creators. You didn't do anything. You said what you wanted to happen, and then everything else was done completely by the computer. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is all inevitable. This is where the future is heading, and it's bleak. There's a lot of bleak things that the film industry is heading towards. I mean, streaming is a big thing. AI generated art, just the overall, just how blockbusters are slowly being less and less smart. Like stuff like this is what really has me worried. But I still think back on all the people who were bashing movies like Airhead and what Late Night with the Devil did with AI. It reminds me that there are a lot of people that don't want to see AI generated movies. And ultimately, I feel like those people are going to be the ones that end up making sure that AI generated movies can never really succeed. At least that's what I hope for. Because I don't want this to be super sad and depressing of a type of video. I don't want it to have like a bleak nihilistic look on the future of filmmaking because ultimately I feel like no matter what happens, it's all going to go back to normal. Eventually people are going to be the ones making movies no matter how bad AI generated movies get. Ultimately, people are just going to be the ones, the big brains behind all of it. And it's just the big problem is what's happening now because I have no idea what the future is looking like for this. It's all really uncertain. I mean, people talk about it all the time. Look at what the Will Smith eating video looked like, and then look at what AI generated art is now. It's improving at a radical pace, and I'm scared that eventually down the line, it's just going to become too real, and then it's going to be impossible to know what was AI generated and what was real footage captured by people. However, there is one thing that people will always have over AI, and that's emotions. People can create just emotionally rich stories and have them super beautifully complex and everything that to the point where like it can connect with people on a deeper level. AI is different. Sure, it can have an algorithm of knowing what makes people sad, what makes people angry, stuff like that. But it's not a human. And humans know best with that kind of stuff. And I feel like AI can only create an algorithm, and that's it. AI can know what makes people cry, but it can't create a story that is so emotionally rich that to the point where it can really create these raw emotions that come out of an audience. At least I don't believe so. I don't believe it really ever will. And that's the one thing that I feel like people will always have over AI, in that people are people. AI is a computer, a machine. It doesn't have the same level of understanding that another person can have with someone else. It's just how it works. It's just a computer that's designed to know things, but like it will never be the same as interacting with an actual person. No matter how much they make it advanced, like you can create an AI chatbot that can be so smart, like it can be like her. Let's just use that as an example. And you can create something that's super realistic and so advanced to where like it really talks like a real person. However, at the end of the day, it's not a real person, it's a computer. And that will just always be the thing that people will have over AI, and that people are people. Like, people will always have their own special ways of talking and communicating and emotions, and computers just can't connect on that exact level. That's why, like, I don't believe computers could ever make something like as emotionally devastating. Like, okay, let me Interstellar. Interstellar makes me cry every single time. And I feel like if you put in the same prompts to make Interstellar with AI generate, make it AI generated, I don't believe you could do it the same. I don't think you could make a single. You could make some people cry, but I really don't think. Especially, I don't think I'd ever cry during that movie because again, it's a computer thinking that's what makes people cry. When in reality, they can't fully get that same level of emotional richness that Christopher Nolan could in that movie. It's really the main reason why I feel like AI just will never be on the same level as humans ever. But I don't know. I needed to go on a rant about this. I've been seeing more and more AI popping up in filmmaking, and the conversation is only going to be growing bigger. And I just wanted to put in my thoughts about it because it, it's a really hard conversation to have. It's really complex. There's no real simple answer. But ultimately, at the end of the day, AI is inevitable. There's no stopping the growth of AI, and it's just fighting against it is just stupid. There's no point in it. The fight that we should be having is the fight to stop AI from completely taking over filmmaking. There's to a point where people aren't making movies, computers are. And it should always be people making movies because that's the where everything comes down to. It's people telling people stories, and so you can't have a computer just doing that all. It computers, these AI things, they're only good for being used as a tool. That's what I feel like. At the end of the day, it's just a tool that people should be using. It should be nothing more than anything that you can find in Adobe Premium or Adobe Pro, anything like that. Like, that's what I feel like at the end of the day. That's what AI is. But I mean, tell me what you think. I mean, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, share it if you want. And I mean, tell me what you think of AI. What's your thoughts, opinions on it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? I mean, tell me everything you think. And I just wanted to have this little conversation about it. And one final thing, you might be asking me why I'm sitting on the floor in the corner of a room. Anyways, that's really all I have to say. It's movie talk. See ya.